Welcome to the presentation of the porcelain art creations of Chie Doring, an award-winning porcelain artist. During this presentation, you will see several of her special works. You will learn about her craft, and you will learn about the special person that she is. Here is a preview of the work that she has done. It will give you an idea of her talent and the beautiful objects that she creates. This is the first of 20 works that you will view during this presentation. This one is entitled Angels from on High. It is a national award-winning porcelain dish which is on exhibit at the Oklahoma City Museum of China Painting. It is an example of the precise detail and the amount of thought that goes into her creation. She also won a New York State Award for one of her porcelain pieces. She has created many pieces that are portraits of people. This piece is entitled The Indian Princess. Children are a favorite subject of hers. In her creations, she demonstrates her desire to include a variety of children of different ethnic groups, showing her love for the diversity of our culture. This piece is entitled A Smiling Indian Girl. Here again, she is successful in capturing the mood of a person who comes to life in one of her works. You can sense how happy this child is. Here is another portrait of a child. This piece is entitled A Young Girl in Pink. Note the detail in her hair and dress. In this creation, she tries to capture the innocent and open nature of this child. Her ability to recreate the feelings that children radiate gives special pleasure to one who shares her observations. This creation is entitled The Girl with Blue Eyes. She has said, I want my portraits to come alive. She has a special awareness of the importance of the eyes in her painting of portraits. People comment that when looking at her portraits, you have the feeling that the eyes are looking at you. She has great success in drawing your attention to the eyes in her paintings. This creation is entitled A Young Girl in Thought. She has not only an awareness of the feelings that a subject has, but she is able to communicate those feelings in her interpretation, represented by the image she paints. She enables you to participate in her experience. This piece is entitled Lady in Purple. This portrait has special meaning for Chie because it is actually a portrait of one of her sisters. Family and friends are an important part of her life. She places great value on the many people who have been a part of her life and communicates that in her art creations. Another of Chie's interests is to capture the magic of images of fruit. This piece is entitled The Fruits of Harvest. The variety of colors and shapes creates images that are pleasing subjects for a viewer. They bring special pleasure to the viewer as one recalls how much we enjoy nature's bounty. Here is another still life which is entitled Sweet Ripe Pears. One can almost experience the sweet taste that these pears would create if we were to eat them. This piece is entitled Peaches and Butterflies. When asked the question, how did you come to have interest in painting on china, she would tell you that ever since she was a very young girl, she had an interest in creating art. She also feels that her Japanese heritage is still part of her life. Her home has many beautiful objects of Japanese art that reflect her connection to her Japanese origin. This piece is entitled Fruit of Plenty. Note the thought that goes into her compositions, the texture, the detail, the shadows, and the pure colors. Another subject of Chie's work is flowers. This one is entitled I Love Daisies. When doing flowers, she especially attempts to show how light reflects off the flowers she is painting. Many of her works include images of flowers as part of the composition. This piece is entitled Pink is My Favorite Color. In achieving the ability to create exciting paintings, color is one of the most complicated and important skills that one must master. Chie has developed the ability to see and recreate beautiful colors, which are the mixing of several colors to arrive at a color which is exciting. Her works also combine complementary colors that work to make her paintings special. This piece is entitled Beautiful Chinese Lanterns. Chie and her husband first met in Japan, where Chie worked as a registered nurse in an Air Force hospital, where her husband Floyd Doring was stationed. They were married, returned to Grand Island, New York, where they have raised their family. They recently celebrated their 62nd wedding anniversary. This piece, entitled Yellow Hibiscus in Bloom. Chie's life in America was greatly affected by uprooting from her place of origin and becoming an American citizen. Together, they've been active in public service to their Grand Island community. In 2000, Chie was recognized as Citizen of the Year by the Grand Island Chamber of Commerce. This creation is entitled Hibiscus in Their Full Glory. During her lifetime, Chie has continually studied to develop her skill, but she has also shared her knowledge by teaching others the art of painting on porcelain. Her teaching has been a two-way street in helping others, but also in improving her own capacity to paint porcelain. She has a well-equipped workshop with a kiln and an area for conducting classes in her home. This piece is a self-portrait of Chie. Because of her size and quiet nature, one's first impression of Chie often fails to recognize the depth of this very special lady. It only takes a few words from her to immediately begin to appreciate the depth of thought and the creativity that she possesses. People who get to know her have no difficulty understanding why she is so successful in creating such special works of art. This piece, Swans on a Quiet Lake, is a fine example of a mood painting that instills in the viewer a feeling of the moment. The benefits of Chie being an artist go beyond creating works of art. At the age of 92, Chie would tell you that painting has provided her with a lifelong pleasure that comes from creating works of art. Chie is a fine example of a person who has stayed creatively active in her senior years. This piece, Tasty Fruit, is a wonderful example of the unique nature of the medium of painting on porcelain. Unlike many other mediums, the time and effort to create a fine detail is much greater when one works with porcelain. There are many steps and it is a slow process which requires special paints and brushes. Some items require as many as 10 firings in a kiln before they're completed, but the end result is a very durable creation that will last much longer than other mediums that are easier to work with. This is the final art piece in this presentation. It is entitled A Young Butterfly Maiden. What you have seen is only a small part of the many works created by Chie Doring. Here is a person that challenges all of us to become all that we can be. The first pleasure of an artist is creating an exciting work of art. But the real pleasure of all artists is having other people view and enjoy the creations that result from the thought and work that goes into creating an object of art.